guns, my favorite bitches.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Y'all already know who it is. It is your girl, Miss Kiwi, and I am definitely back in the building. We have a great show for you tonight. So we want you all to tune in, join in, call in 515-599-1687. That's 515-599-1687. You know, of course, we're going to have my co-hosts joining us in a minute. So everybody say hello to Mrs. Mink as she join us on the screen. And
Hello, good evening, everyone.
what's
How's
going
everybody
on?
doing?
All right, all right, all right. How are you, honey?
I am in the land of the living, so that means I'm blessed.
All right now, all right now. So y'all call in, get in on this conversation that we're gonna talk. And then, of course, in a minute, Fast Lane will be in the building. So y'all tune in, call in 515-599-1687. We are talking about adult kid bullies. But right now, Miss Mink gonna give us that mission statement because we want you all young folks to tune in and join in.
Hey. So you know what it is. Hey, we say it every week, and we're going to keep saying it until it catch hold of a lot of us. We want to make sure that our youth are grabbed, snatched, whatever it is that need to go on. And can you not hear me? What's wrong?
Huh?
Oh, you can hear me. Okay. Or grabbed, snatched, and pulled back in. We want to build that gap, open it up for our kids to start communicating. So tonight's topic, as well as any of our others, tie in a great deal with what our mission statement is, making sure that our youth, hey, we bridge that gap. We want our youth to start back communicating openly with our season.
Yes, yes. That's why we always open up our platform for you all to call in. Or even if you don't want to call in, get with us on before or after the show and let us know what's on your mind, and we definitely will get you there to as far as getting it a topic on our show. So y'all call in and tune in with this conversation and let us know what's on your mind. And have you dealt with any bullying, whether it was adult, whether it was kid bullying? Bullying is bullying, and it's not right. So let's talk about it.
Yes, most definitely. We got to talk about it. Just like I said, we got to bring our kids back. We don't want our kids to keep continuing to be in the land of the lost. And on our topic on tonight, when we're talking about bullying, kids are bullied daily. And you know what? I found it very interesting when I was doing a little research. Our kids are not just being bullied by their peers. They also are bullied by their parents. That's just really crazy to me.
Yeah.
And it can go a lot of different angles when I say parents or adults bullying kids, because there is so much happening now. Whereas sometimes I have to ask, who is the adult in these situations?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And then, sometimes maybe we just need to break down bullying. And for me, bullying is anytime you force or you make someone do something that you want them to do and they don't want to do it. That's bullying. So that means it could be adults, it could be children. Bullying is bullying. And the thing about it is when we say adults and parents bullying, we're not saying what you teach your kids that's right and how to, teach them in situations what they need to do and how they need to respond, and that force. We're saying as far as adults bullying the kids into doing things that they know that's not right. You will sit there and allow a child to do something, and you will laugh about it, and then you'll encourage them on to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like as if that's right. So, when we talk about bullying, we talking about all around the board. We ain't putting it in no box, because bullying go a long way.
Yes, it does. And bullying is an act of treating someone out of the ordinary.
Exactly.
It could be
Exactly.
name calling. So that's what I meant when I said adults bully. Because there are some adults that call kids out of their name. There are some adults that demeanorize and put kids down, children down. Shoot, heck, they put each other down as far as adults. So, that's a part of who
Bullying.
they are, I guess. But it's horrible because what that does is that starts to bring up a behavior out of our
Mental.
children
Yeah.
who are growing into adults,
Yep.
and it's making them bad. There is so many shootings and killings that's going on right now, and you have to stop and think about what could be going on in that child's life that caused them to do what it is that they did or act out the way it is that they act out. And when you think about it or go back to it, just to think about it, what type of environment, who were the adults that played a role in their lives that wasn't inspirational?
Well, but you know what? I just feel like this too, though. Even though it may not be happening to us per se in our own personal, and maybe it has, because I'll share a story with you all that it has happened in our personal life. But sometimes we have to look in the mirror as well too, and find out what part do we partake in that, or what part do we, um, what is it that we can do to even help that? You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people feel like, oh, it ain't happening to me, so why I'm going to talk about it, or why I need to engage in it. Because you may know somebody who's being bullied. And a lot of people who's being bullied, they'll shut down. They won't talk. They'll start shying and away from people, or they might not want to be in the same room as people. And you have to start looking at these signs with our children. Is your kid acting different? Is the eating habit different? Why, once upon a time he or she was jippery and they wanted to be around everybody. Why are they shying away? These are signs of kids that may be being bullied, or somebody touching them, or somebody's trying to persuade them to do things that they know that not right. So we just have to start being more aware of what's really going on in our environment, our surroundings, in our everyday life, inside our homes, because that's where it starts at. It starts inside the home.
Right, it does. It
So,
really does. And I don't know if we stop and think about it or just what. I mean, because you even have to think about, what was that parent's life like? Because when we talk about generational curses and things that are passed down through the generations, was this something that even that person went through before it was that they became a parent? What demons were they fighting against? What demons were they dealing with that has now been passed along to their children?
exactly. Well, we would like to welcome in our other co-host, S Lane 747. Welcome in, welcome in.
What up? What
How's your
Welcome
up?
day
in,
going?
Second Flame.
How's your
Blessed.
evening going,
I'm
I
blessed.
shall
I can't
say?
complain, not for 1 second.
That's
That's
what's up.
good.
That's what's up.
Yes.
Well, of course, we talking about the topic of adults and kids bullies. Whether it's an adult, whether it's kid, whether you being the bullier or whether you getting bullied. That's what we talking about. And we also kind of touching bases on, what's happening in these schools with these shootings and, just the shootings with these young kids, period. So that's where we at
Yeah.
with that.
Hey, Miss Mink, did you hear anything about that shooting? That shooting ended up being in Georgia. I was talking about with the little boy daddy who bought him the AR-15.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
You know what? It's been a lot of shootings down here, Fast Lane, especially in our schools. And, that also has occurred with younger people. That is just crazy, in reference to that part. And I don't know, but I may have seen something like that because I know that they're going after the father as well because he's asking for a separate, some type of separate jail cell or whatever. He doesn't want to be in the population because he's been getting a lot of threats about it. So I think I just read that earlier, in reference to that.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
because he's supposed to bought the kid the AR-15 for a Christmas present or something like that.
See,
What
see,
kind of mess is that?
that's what I'm saying. Like, our adults they're not being role models. They're not being adults. Everybody want to be friends with everybody. You know, it's no difference. And that's what's sad out here because why would he go buy this boy a AR-15 or whatever it is to have period? Like, why?
For a Christmas present. And he didn't kill 4 people, 2 teachers and
He
2
ought to be.
students.
He ought to be.
Yeah,
He ought to be
I
liable.
get. That's who it is. Yep,
Yeah, he
you're
was
right,
14
Fast
years
Lane.
old. The
He
kid
oughta
was
be
14
14
liable.
years old, and yeah, he shot up a school, hit the teachers, 2 teachers,
See,
2 students. And this
see,
was a Christmas gift to a 14-year-old. Why would you buy a 14-year-old AR?
because it's almost like our adults are not adults. They're adults, but they're not acting like adults. Like everything goes nowadays. Like people just seem like they just losing their minds.
Yeah, it says father of Georgia school shooting suspect requests separate jailing after threats. So his name, which I won't call, the father of the accused, of the suspect that shot up in the one of the Georgia high schools, he stated that he wanted, because he's being held responsible for this because he bought the boy the gun.
Well,
And he should be.
and
He
you know
should
he
be.
gave him this gun after they was already being questioned about threats of shooting up a school.
See, it just
Oh,
don't make sense. So what was his intentions? That's what you know what I'm saying, and that's why I be saying like you do be wondering what be on the minds of these adults too, because you can kind of see why our young adults and teenagers' minds are like they are because we don't have enough role models anymore.
nope. And that's the big thing is that, tying back to the topic that we're speaking about, because I know a lot of people say, well, how do you get adult bullying? It's kids that bully. No, it's not just kids.
It's
Because
not
just
Start
that's a
at
prime
home.
example. You're going to buy a 14-year-old that type of gun
High-power
for a
rifle.
Christmas present.
A high-power rifle.
After y'all done already talked about what's going on in these schools.
And not just them talking about it, they was questioned already
that's
for
what I'm
threatening to
saying.
shoot up a school.
See,
Oh, heck no.
After they've been questioned, the father still gave him that type of present. See, that's that adult bully because it started at home. And you know what they did for that adult bully? They charging the daddy for them bodies too.
See?
know what
Yeah,
I'm
they
saying? So-
should though, as they should, as
Yeah,
they
he-
should,
hey.
because it's just sad the way our children are getting hold to guns and stuff and killing each other. Like it's just sad. It's sad. It's real sad. And just like kids are still bullying in schools and stuff, and then you wonder why some of these kids turn out the way they are because they're being bullied and nobody's handling or nobody's putting any attention to why this kid is being bullied or trying to help this child while they're being bullied. But I'm gonna give y'all a little prime example, because we just went through that recently with my granddaughter, one of her supposed to be friends, and these are 10-year-olds. And the reason why I'm not ashamed to talk about it is because this needs to be talked about. This needs to let people know that if they are going through this, they're not the only one to go through this. But there are people that will listen. There are people that will help out here. But her so-called friend, and I'm not going to call names, but she was supposed to be her friend. She would call my daughter's phone, and my daughter would just let her know, like, baby, y'all just got out of school and I'm at work. The little baby would call back, to the point where my daughter told her, don't call my phone no more. she had the nerves to start texting my daughter all these crazy little messages about how my granddaughter and her don't want it, and she'll be up at the school with her mother. But I say this to say that the little girl is getting it from somewhere.
Yeah.
You feel me? And she got to be seeing her mama first, because that's who she around all the time, unless her mama ain't raising her. But she got to be getting it from somebody. But that also lets you know that these parents are really not interacting enough with that child, because why is this child on the phone all day long as soon as she get out of school?
Playing on somebody
else's phone. And then you playing on an adult phone throwing threats out. She don't even understand how that could have took it to some other level and got your mama into something that
and
she might not
even see it coming.
Do you hear what I'm saying?
She don't know her daughter up here threatening.
And then she had the nerves to tell my daughter about her and two other girls was gonna jump. I mean, my granddaughter, they was gonna jump her. But I'm saying that is a form of bullying.
Yeah.
That is true bullying.
But I thank God that they were able to talk to the grandmother. See, them grandmas still be having to step in because of our children not being the parents, but they having all these babies. She had to step in, and she was apologizing, and she made the little girl apologize. And, we did alert the school because they go to school together. Right. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't want my granddaughter to feel like she had to feel no certain type of way in going to school. The same way you felt safe yesterday, I want you to feel safe going the next day, because we don't have to worry about that. So I'm glad the grandmother jumped down on it, but I said all that to say bullying is real. It's real, and if the adults don't pay attention and jump down on it, then that bullying can turn to something else.
Hey, out there at Isaiah school, it's a kid where this kid been making threats to the school, telling the school he gonna shoot it up.
See?
Oh no.
St. Peter's.
See?
And today, so they went to the house where the kids stay at. The police did to try to find any evidence of him sending out threats. I guess he's sending it out through social media or whatever. They didn't find nothing. The little boy made a call today, said he's steady making them threats. You know what I mean? So they got to enforce on these kids, because, see, it's consequences behind your action, even the words that we speak out our mouth. You know what I'm saying? People quick to use their tongue, but they don't know their tongue will get you in trouble.
Man.
And we got to teach our kids that. You know what I'm saying? Because even little bullies be making threats. They always going to come across somebody that ain't going to go for it, and they going to tame that bully.
Exactly.
And then somebody going to be wondering why somebody didn't put hands on their baby, but they baby running around mimicking what they doing at home.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, we all play a part of it. You know what I mean? We got to teach these kids. You got to teach them. You got to stand on your own and be willing to defend yourself when necessary. But don't be pushing nobody around. You're going to start in trouble. You're going to end up being a victim.
You're going to find it. And you may not be able to handle. Hey, I say to these parents, stop giving these checks to your kids that they ass can't cash. Because it don't make no sense that we would prefer to think that what it is or how it is that they're acting is cute. This is cute behavior. This ain't cute.
It's not.
This is not cute, because it is causing many of our children to lose their lives. It is causing many of our children to have, start to have mental issues, because of bullying impacts that mental state of mind.
Yeah, it does.
And it demeanorizes, our kids. It makes our kids fearful. And, speaking from a Christian aspect, God, he didn't create fear in us, but because of society, fear is raging through society, and it's really raging amongst our kids.
It really is. It definitely is. And I'm gonna say another thing that I feel like when I speak on adult and parent bullying is, you have some parents that this is all they come out their mouth saying all day long. You stupid. You ain't gonna be nothing. You just like your daddy. You know what I'm saying? In a form that's bullying your child, because you're implanting that your child will never amount to nothing, all because you're still in your feelings about that dad. So you're taking it out on your children. And we also have, that is bullying. Like that's bullying to me. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because your kid did not have nothing to do with you and your what your mate or your guy or whoever he was at that moment, you know. And that's another thing, we have to look in the mirror and face our own situations, you know, because our offsprings are the ones who, you know, catch it. They the ones who suffer from that, you know. And people actually be feeling like, oh no, they just bad because no, there is a mother and there is a dad. There's two sides on both sides. That means that if you got issues of anger, then your child gonna have those same issues of anger. You know what I'm saying? And unless you get on top of that, then that child is, you know, he doomed. But we got a caller, and we want to answer. Hello, caller. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear y'all. What's up?
All right, now, how you doing?
Yeah, y'all doing? All right, we gonna what y'all got going on here?
You say you doing what now? Lock that door.
All the time. What y'all got going on here? What y'all do?
Oh, okay. We got a podcast. Why Not Said podcast is going on right now. And we speaking on adult and kid bullies. So what's your name, caller?
This is Jumbo Man.
You say your name is who?
Jumbo Man. JUMBAMAN.
Oh, okay. How you doing on this evening, Jimbo Man?
I'm good. I'm doing great.
That's good. Well, can you call? I mean, you called in. Can you give us some insight on, you know, anybody that's been bullied or, you know, or going through the situation that we're talking about?
Yeah, for sure. I know Ari Shamir, ERIISHAMERE. Ari Shamir. She deal with a lot of people. She support a lot of kids that been bullied, and you know, deal with a lot of suicidal kids and stuff like that. So,
Okay.
you know, we just support the kids that go through that. You know, we try to steer them the right way, and you know, try to keep them from feeling down and out. You know, and alone. You know what I'm saying? Because we know how it feels being bullied. You know, so we support those that go through that.
Okay. Well, we definitely appreciate you calling in. We would love to get y'all information and keep in touch with y'all because we talk a lot about our children because that's our motto. We trying to bridge our young kids back in tune with the season. So yeah, and bullying is real.
We would like to have them on. We would like to have you on our show because
once the old and go, they done. We need to support the youngins and keep them on the right track and alive. So and on the right track, so they can, because they the ones who gonna get old to run the rest of this whatever we got here in Israel. So that's another story. We support y'all. Overtime Radio. We're gonna reach out to y'all.
Yeah, reach out to us because we would love to invite y'all on the show.
Yup. That's on Facebook and Instagram. ERIISHAMERE. Ari Shamir.
Can you say it again?
Can you say that one more time before you leave? Sorry, say that information one more time.
ERIISHAMERE. Ari Shamir.
Ari Shamir. Okay. All right. Well, we definitely appreciate you reaching out and sharing them nuggets with us. You enjoy and be safe on the rest of your evening.
All right, y'all too.
Yeah, we appreciate all our callers.
Yes, we do. You know? I mean, because hey, the more, you know, information is put out there. I know a lot of times, especially a lot of the topics that we may discuss, and this one right here is it hits home to all of us because I'm pretty sure that we know someone that has experienced this. But a lot of in our community as people of color, we have problems with talking out, especially about topics that are so important as this. Our children are bullied every day, and not just by their peers. They're bullied every day by an adult even. So we have to start formulating, hey, we got to grab the kids back. We have to grab the kids back. And if it's something that you're dealing with as an adult, that is impacting the kids, seek help. This is a cry for you all even to seek help so that our kids can stop being punished through you.
Exactly. You know, because hey, a lot of people think that, you know, they not going through nothing or they grown, but we all need help in some manner, in some way. We all need somebody to talk to, and you know, we just have to always self check your surroundings, self check what's going on in your life. You know, because a lot of times things that go on in your life, you display it, and your children see it, and they mimic a lot of things that we do, you know, and when you hurt, they hurt, you know, and a lot of times we wonder why our children act out certain ways, or why all of a sudden, you know, they getting in trouble at school, or, you know, because they trying to tell us something and we not listening. So we got to be more in tune with our children, more in tune, you know, with self, and that way we could be able to help our children a little more.
So I'm going to give a little bit of information in reference to what some of our experts are saying as far as to how we can kind of observe and know the signs and what you can do to help avoid these, especially in our schools with our teachers, because there is a lot of people. I'll say this. With me, I work part-time at Walmart. So there's trainings that you have to take for active shooters. And that's something that I think that teachers should be well equipped with too, is that training on how to deal with active shooter incidents. Whereas to if an active shooter incident is starting to occur, then they know how to get those children to safety. Mm-hmm. A lot of times, I'll never forget, this was a long time ago when my son played for Wolves, and that's something that even in the Boys and Girls Clubs, anywhere, the adults of the places need to be fully engaged as well as fully aware of how to handle those situations. So we were on the football field, and it was in the midst of the game, and some guys start shooting back and forth at each other. Well, everybody scattered. Kids was running all over the place. So just imagine somebody's kid, could have, thank God nobody got hurt. But mine was one of them that was running across the field because the coaches had no control or didn't, know how to handle it. First thing they did was scattered. Grab hold to, you're the one that is the responsible adult at that time. Make sure that you are aware of how to handle that situation. And I know that my son couldn't hear me, but I'm yelling across the field, drop to the ground. Don't stand up and keep running, drop. But he didn't. He was trying to find me. So parents, it's very important. Adults, period. It's very important that you take some form of training. There's a lot of trainings on the internet that can help you with being involved or in a situation where there's active shooting involved, how to handle that situation, how you can help sometimes avoid, someone from possibly getting shot, lead them to safety.
Yeah. And also, too, there's things about bullying, too, that's on the internet. If you know or if you see somebody being bullied, don't keep your mouth closed about it. Tell somebody. Everybody needs some type of help. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people that even see things or know people that's bullying and won't even say nothing about it. We were told to mind our business. We were. But we are also in them times where God is saying he need his people to stand up because, man really trying to make this world wicked, and more wicked. So if you seeing somebody being bullied, even if you don't want to give your name, write a note.
Yep.
Write a note. You ain't got to sign your name to it. Write a note. But everybody need to participate in this because even though it might not be yours right now or today, that's not to say it won't ever be. So you need to prepare your child, when they're being bullied, how to handle a bully. Just as well as parents need to teach the kids that's going through trauma and traumatic things within their environment, inside their home, how to deal and cope with different things. Because those are people that end up doing the bullying. Things that has happened to them, things that's still happening, and they too afraid to tell somebody. People just I don't think in my heart that people just wake up in the morning and decide to be a bully. You know what I'm saying? I feel, especially children, I don't think that
they mimicking something.
Yeah, they're mimicking and they trying to tell you something.
Like you said, most of the time they're getting pushed around, so they want to find somebody to push around or take their frustration out.
Exactly.
They probably just getting smacked for no reason, so they want to try to treat somebody else. Most kids really are like they sponges, so they soaking up everything they seeing around them. So if they're around that type of entertainment, I don't know if it's the mother and the father or whatever they going through, you know what I'm saying? But when they see an aggressive behavior like that, they tend to mimic it when they get out the house. They gonna try to take that same behavior and use it towards somebody else.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And the thing is, though, we also gotta. It's two sides to it. We gotta teach our kids how to stand up on their own and know when to. You know what I'm saying? That's very important. Protecting yourself and knowing not to talk so much, but knowing how to listen more and pay attention and knowing how to feel the things around you. You know what I'm saying? Because when you learn how to even feel the things around you, you also can feel when somebody's in front of you just running their mouth or if they really gonna do something. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So some things we don't even have to entertain, and that's what we have to teach our kids. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta protect yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because we could tell them not to, and they'll be the ones getting kicked up their ass all the time, coming home crying to mama. So we have to teach our kids to protect ourselves. Now, don't go start no fight. You're going to get in trouble for starting.
Exactly.
But you're going to also get in trouble if you letting somebody push you around, too. That's how we was raised.
Exactly.
Yeah. And statistics, speaking of bullying is the lowest form of talked about or reported. But shootings, just in 2024, school shootings, there has been over 1,000.
Damn.
1,000 school shootings alone in 2024. Damn. But when it comes to reports statistically for bullying, there's only been 23% of bullying cases being reported. And we know, which they did, state that bullying is closely related to or tied to why some of the school shootings occur.
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah.
It's that same kid now, he got access to that gun.
Yes.
First he used to have to he'd get in trouble and have to sit in ISS or something like that. You know what I mean? Or he get that paddle. Now he like, I'm gonna leave school, and when he leaves school, he got access to them guns. That's just like those that got guns in the house. You got to be able to put them guns away from them kids. When y'all expose them to that, they're going to get curious. They curious minds. That's why I say they sponges. When they get curious, they're going to want to touch it. Before you know it, they're going to be to touch something they wasn't supposed to touch. Or they'll be took your gun up out of your house.
Exactly.
And that happens a lot.
Exactly. And I'm going to say this, and this is just my opinion. Like, if I had children in the household right now, and I know that I keep a gun in my house, I would take my kid and educate them on the guns. You feel me? And educate them to the point where even how to handle a gun in any situation if somebody was to come in and harm us. But we have to also be mindful, even in teaching them and educating them, we have to be responsible in locking it up and making sure that, your kid can't get access to this gun. But I just feel like, in these times, just to tell a kid, don't touch it because it kill you and all of that, they listen, but they don't listen. So you have to really educate your children on guns and, even maybe go so far to take them to not so much where they handling the gun, but take them to a class with you to be taught about that gun, because kids now is more hands-on. They got to feel it and see it. They can't just hear it and
Yeah, so
And like you said, that's your opinion because I don't agree with that part.
well,
I agree in reference to, and this my opinion. It may be others that feel that, yes, that kid needs to know how to handle that gun or whatever the case may be. I'll say at a certain age, maybe, but not, a lot of our kids now, just like that one that we had talked about before, being that, what was she, a kindergartner? That shot her 10-year-old sister or whatever the case may be.
She wasn't even in kindergarten. She was 4. She was 4 years old.
4 years old. First and foremost,
Okay,
yes.
then let me say this. Because I guess I was just thinking more common sense. No adult gonna put no gun in no 4-year-old hand now. I'm saying a child that's of age. Don't get me wrong. It not even put it in their hand, but leaving guns around. It's happening every day. That's how the 4-year-old. But what I'm saying, I'm talking about a child that's, old enough to understand what we really saying as far as this is not a toy. Because I'd rather my child be educated on it, as opposed to not knowing nothing about it. Now you done picked it up and thought it was a toy because people are allowing their children to play with toy guns. So these kids are not really thinking on the fact that this is a real gun. I'm finna pick it up, and when I shoot it, it's gonna kill the person who I'm pointing at.
Right. So education is key.
Yeah.
But as far as just showing them or telling them how to use it,
if that's what they took out of that, no, that's not what I'm saying. Not at all. That was not what I was saying. Not at all. But yeah, I agree with you. A certain age.
Yeah, because we have. In reference to we got to learn how to divert our kids' mindsets away from everything that is being presented on a daily basis out there in the streets. We got to learn how to start reverting their mindsets to other things. Exactly. There are other things that can help them create success in life. And what it is that they're doing right now is it's not helping them create success. But we as adults, we play a key part in that, which right now a lot of us aren't playing that key part. And so our children are very lost. A lot of our kids do a lot of bullying because they're reaching out for help. They're reaching out for attention. They're reaching out for love. They're reaching out for care. They're reaching out for support. They even may be reaching out for an ass whooping that they never get because they giving their way with everything it is that they do.
And that's true.
Hey, Miss Mink, you know what's deep? This is a part we got to recognize. We could blame the streets. We could blame the government. We could blame a lot of different angles. But one part we all sleep on as a parent that we don't realize the generation we see right now is products of what I'm finna say. We constantly bought them Grand Theft Auto, from Grand Theft Auto 1 all the way up to the newest ones they got right now. We constantly bought them the Modern Warfares, all of them games that's strictly about gunplay, running around, high speed, all of that. You know what I'm saying? So they didn't even have to hit the streets to learn all of that.
Okay.
We constantly kept them with the newest edition. You see what I'm saying? And those that played it spent hours. They studied it. So what we didn't teach them, they was taught by a game where the difference is, and this is the part they act like they don't know. See, out in this real world, you can't hit restart. You see what I'm saying? You can't hit restart. So as we let them get influenced by that video game, see, them games in front of them influencing them more than we know. Because it's kids that know all about guns just from playing that Modern Warfare and all them other ones. Call of Duties. Them Call of Duties is straight warfare. You're changing your guns, you're modifying your guns. You doing all of this with these different guns, and then you going out killing. That's all you doing is shooting. That's why that's all they know.
And
so
I'm talking about
we gotta watch all the sources. We've been. The kids ain't even in the streets for real like that. They go out in the streets and do their little dirt, but they back at home, man. They jump right back on that game, dude. And that's why they so much about the internet advertising what they doing, because they playing it like it's a game. You see what I'm saying? Because we have let our kids get so programmed by these video games. You see what I'm saying?
And now
they
think
it's a game out here.
Like real people, they playing the game.
They think it's a game. And like
it's sad.
like a lot of those video games teach them so much that we see in the streets because they was mimicking the streets, but they not getting the real rules that come with that. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So when we keeping them away from it, they innocent mind thinking they got game, playing this game, they thinking they shooters, they thinking they could drive, all of this, and then when they get out in this real world, that's all they know.
Exactly.
See what I'm saying? That's all they know, that more than they know the streets.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because if they knew the streets, they wouldn't do certain things they do because they know it's consequences to our actions. You see what I'm saying? So that's the part we gotta, like, they got so much access to that game, but you know, like when they plan to destroy a people, they had to figure out more ways than one. And they knew that, okay, we gonna catch them while they young. You see what I'm saying? We're going to catch them while they young. And we're going to keep that program going. Okay, if they didn't got away from watching the cartoons and all that, now we're going to put this video game in front of them so much. But it's the content in the video game is how we going to get them. You see what I'm saying? Because it's so much that go on in them video games that parents don't know because y'all ain't spending hours watching these kids play these games.
So,
And
like,
I'm gonna tell you something. Them games is, man. When I used to see, I used to be like, "Are you serious?" Like they got the hoes on the road, they got the
They having sex,
dope
all of that.
selling, they got the sex going on, they got the killings. I'm talking about they got everything that's going on in real life.
Now look how it trick you.
Except for when
The consequences.
Okay, except for the consequences.
They ain't really seeing the
There
real
you have it.
consequences because they can start over and recreate another player. And all that.
Exactly.
You know, only thing you can recreate out here is change your life or get yourself together
I'm
and
telling
elevate.
I either end up in jail or dead.
Because
you go out there playing like you playing the game out on the video game. You go out here playing it like you playing the video game. It ain't no reset.
I'm telling you, gonna be blinking black, gonna be the last thing you see.
So that goes back to them parents again. So we gotta take accountability for that because they didn't have no money to go buy them games at one time. See what I'm saying? They grew up playing them games, but we was keeping them pacified with it. Pacified. Now we created
That's another form of bullying. Adult bullying. Yeah, it is.
Created monsters instead of making their little ass read or go do something or pick up a crowd. Come down here and help me do this. Come help me wash this car. You know what I'm saying? Like how we was raised. We had to come out there.
And now they bad. I can't stand these. That's all. No. We got to be accountable.
You are that parent, you know, that knows what it is that child has endured in their home life.
Right.
And now they out in the streets doing any and everything. But the first thing that you want to holler is, oh, not my child. Not my son, not my daughter, because they wouldn't act like that or they wouldn't do that. But you already know your child. You already know you.
Okay.
You already know what you done subjected your child.
That's like when you got a child and you keep telling somebody else. I can't hear you, Miss Me.
Hold on.
It's freezing up.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's raining hard outside.
You heard people telling these kids, like they don't listen, they don't this and that. Well, do you realize you program them not to listen by giving them passes when they wasn't listening? When they looking off while you talking to them, you let them go ahead and do it. You know what I mean? And we gotta be responsible for how we taught them. We taught them a lot of bad habits that we're trying to break now. That's not easy because if you teach a kid that he won't get punished, because I heard a lot of them like, I never whoop my kid, I won't do this. It's not about whooping them like no slave or nothing. It's just about disciplining them. Exactly. When you out of pocket, this what comes with that. You see what I'm saying? Because in this real world, that's what comes with that. Ain't no passes.
Exactly. And I'm going to say this too. This is a little incident that happened at my grandbaby's school, the youngest one. She was getting in trouble or whatever. So I had to go up to the school and speak with the parent of the little girl and the principal. And, you know, I was just letting my grandbaby know that this where you want to clown, this where you get your butt whooped. And I said it just like that. And the principal said, oh, no, Mrs. Powell, we can't allow you to whoop your child. And you know what I told her? I said, that's the problem with our children right today. Because you all and the state and everybody else make our kids feel like disciplining them or giving them a whooping is you mistreating them and you doing them bad. So now y'all got them where they want to call a hotline on the parents. So it makes the parents scared to discipline. I said, not mine. I said, I'm gonna say this: if my child want to clown right here, this is where she gonna get her butt whooped, and I mean that. I said, now, if you don't want me to whoop her in your school, that's fine. I'll take her to the car and whoop her butt and bring her back into school. Because I'm not raising no monkeys to come to school and clown. I'm teaching her to come to school and, learn something. So she was like, oh, Mrs. Powell, well, we believe in timeout. I said, well, I tell you, listen.
Timeout don't work.
I said,
You got no butt whooped at school,
That paddle
did
works. You know what works for us? That paddle.
Baby.
They bust that paddle out.
You
After
better
a while,
know
you
it.
get tired of getting that paddle.
Huh.
That timeout really didn't work. That
Baby.
gave us time to chill. That means
Do you
I ain't
hear
got to do
me?
my work right now.
I told her, y'all may believe in that timeout, and that's fine because I can't knock your beliefs. But in my household, yeah, I believe in discipline. And I wish mine would pick up the phone and call hotline on me because they getting a whooping. I wish they would. I would be whooping their ass when they get there. So
You should. You just think. What if you had tried to call the hotline on Mama when she came up to the school and got you?
Baby, I ain't even, baby, that wasn't even crossing my mind. As many times she kept on whooping me as each class went by. I ain't thought about no hotline, baby, okay? Play with it if you want to. Baby, I come from the old school, baby. She don't care about you calling no hotline. She is the hotline.
Y'all remember, hey Liz? Shoot, Daryl was grown when it was that happened, and the police go tell her that she can't do. She told the police what she was gonna do to him if it was that he intervened.
Nobody, You know, now I'm gonna say this: there is a difference in beating your child. Because you got some parents that they just be beating their kids, like for real beating them. Because they still got all that inside of them. And instead of dealing with them issues, because your child had nothing to do with that. It's a difference in whooping their butt and beating them. And you can't tell me not to whoop my child if I feel like whooping. And my grandbabies will tell you, 9 times out of 10, really, they don't even have to get whooping. Because they already know we're not playing with them.
Hey, because you know why? Like our grandma told us, if you do it early, you ain't going to have to worry about it later on.
You
see what I'm saying? Because see, not, it'll get to a point where all you got to do is give them that look. Or you know what I'm saying? They like, oh, don't call my mama. See, that's at least you want them to be like that. Don't call my mama. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what we was doing. We ain't want them to call our mama.
No, sir.
We wasn't worried about nothing else, but don't call my mama.
That's what my oldest grandbaby
So them
would
whoopings
say.
work. You know what I mean?
Hey, she'll say that real quick. Please don't call my yammy. Don't call my yammy up here. They always want mama to come up there, though. But because you know what? That's my grandbaby. I know my grandkids. And I'm not going to sit here and say what they ain't doing and what they want. Because every child will try it when they not around their parent. Until they know or see that there's an adult that's, oh, no, we ain't doing that. Because you got a lot of adults that sit back and let them do it. You know, so they might try it. But they already know, this old school around here, baby, you're going to get in trouble by me, your uncle, your auntie. And by the time you get home with your mama, you getting in trouble again.
Hey, check this out. You know what's deep? Like growing up, the ones who was whooping us and, didn't play around, them the ones, now that I'm grown, I miss the most.
Man.
You feel me? Because now that I'm grown and understand what they was trying to do, they was showing me, see that tough love they was showing me was really real unconditional love, letting you know that this cold world gonna whoop you way worse than this. See, I'm whooping you out of love because I'm trying to stop you from getting whooped by that cold world out there. See, that's the difference. See, now they ain't getting whooped. And I ain't talking about whoop for no reason. I'm saying being disciplined when they out of pocket. You know what I mean? They not getting disciplined like they need to. So they not worrying about no consequences out there because they not getting it at home.
Exactly.
Right.
They gonna look at
and
you like
there's a difference too, because it's a difference when it is, like you said, Miss Kiwi, the child is just getting beat because of issues that parent may have or whatever the case may be, versus when it is that you are disciplining your child, you're going to talk to them first.
Exactly.
Like, you're going to talk to them afterwards to explain why it is. This is why this happened.
Hey, you talking about like mom would be like, don't, what, I told. Yeah, she used to talk to us about that belt switch. You ain't learn to take, you ain't, I don't want to do it, but you made me do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Right, you're going to be explained why it is that this is happening, or you should be explaining, hey, you just did X, Y, and Z.
Exactly.
Do you think that you should get a pass? Oh, well, if you think you should get a pass, well, you're not, because this is what's getting ready to happen. These are the consequences. You don't get away with what it is that you've done.
Exactly.
So it is a difference, and I hope nobody is taking it out of context as far as nobody's saying to just beat your child.
Oh, yeah,
but
I'm
what it's
not
about
talking
is
on you.
disciplining your child. First and foremost, if you're not paying no attention to your child, you're not spending no time with your child, you're not talking to your child, then you don't have the right to whoop your child.
You need to whoop yourself.
Okay, you need to whoop
That's
yourself.
right. Absolutely.
Well,
You don't have the right.
You gotta stick yourself. You gotta stick yourself.
I'm all about earning the right to be a parent.
Yeah.
None of us have a parenting book. We don't know how to be the best parent in the world. I don't think nobody does, except for God. However, you do have to earn the right if it is that you're going to discipline that child, because neglect, which is a part of parenting, a parent or adult bullying, means that you're not spending no time with your child. You let that child just go. You let that child do whatever it is that they want to. You don't want to be bothered with that child. You got anger management issues. You don't want to take your anger out on somebody else so that child gets it. No, Now, I don't agree with that.
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Not at all.
So we have to be very mindful, as I stated earlier, is that it's time for us to revert. And I'm going to keep crying that cry. It's time for us to revert our children from what it is that we are allowing them to do. Because as Fastlane stated earlier, we are not setting them up for success when we just sit them in front of the TV. We let them just be on social media all day long. We let them watch these different type of shows that promote violence and all of that stuff. That's not the type of education that we should want our kids to achieve.
Because we're not creating doctors, lawyers, scientists, and whatever the case may be.
We ain't even creating entrepreneurs.
No, we dumbing them down, and we making them just think that everything is going to be handed to them. You see what I'm saying? We have to teach them how to earn things. You know what I'm saying? It's not about you slaving your kid. It's just like this. Hey, you wash this car for me. I got you. You know what I'm saying? And you said I got you. It's not the fact that I got to give you anything, but I'm just teaching you how to earn your keep. You see what I'm saying? And once you teach them how to earn their keep, they take that away from the house and know how to do that. You know what I'm saying? Before you know it, they go in the neighbor's house. Can I cut your grass? Can I shovel this snow? Can I clean off your car for you? You know what I'm saying? But it started at home. You give them a reason you motivate them and teach them how to, this is your own business. Now, how you going to run it? If you don't work, that means your business ain't going to make no money. So if I say, okay, well, I'm going to give you a couple dollars for cleaning up your room. Now, that is your room. You supposed to clean your room if I tell you to clean your room anyway. Exactly. So you can't give them type of hustles because that's where you're supposed to discipline them at and make them clean their room anyway. You know what I'm saying? But it's other little things where you can show your kids how to make a little money, where they'll start appreciating the fact that it's their own money, and then that will motivate them to want to become a young entrepreneur to make more money for themselves. But if we keep just handing them everything, want them to feel like they rich, you know what I'm saying? We got it backwards, because those that got it don't just hand it to their kids like that. They making them earn it too. You know what I'm saying? That way, they can run that company for them once they get in position. You know what I'm saying? But if we dumb them down, making them think the world going to keep handing it to them and handing it to them, all they going to do is know how to stick their hand out. And when they don't get it, they're going to be so disappointed.
They're going to act out.
They're going to act out. Yeah.
They're going to act out, and it's not going to be for the best. Exactly. It's not going to be for the best. Yeah. So, parents, hey, like I stated, none of us have a manual. There isn't a manual on parenting. You learn as you go. But one thing that you can do is grab hold to some of that old school teaching. Hopefully you had it. Hopefully you got it. Hopefully you were privy to it. And bring it to your children. The old school remedies, the old school teachings didn't cause a lot of us to be, crazy, terrible, or whatever. Decisions that we made when we got older was different. Exactly. But it wasn't because of some of the teachings that we received. So we need to, I guess you would say, emulate that.
Yeah, because,
and give it to our kids.
The thing about the old school teachings is, them old school teachings helped us once we got grown. You see what I'm saying? Them old school teachers taught us morals and taught us respect and taught us to value certain things. You know what I'm saying? Them old school teachers taught us how to clean up our own house, taught us how to wash them dishes, and that would teach those kids how to clean up after themselves. You know what I'm saying? See, the thing is, like Mama always said, ain't nothing new up under the sun. We keep thinking that certain things is so new that the old school teachers ain't gonna work, but we don't realize that's what got us here. Exactly. You see what I'm saying? That's what got us here. Without them, we wouldn't be here. You know what I mean? So, like when Grandma was teaching us certain things, we supposed to pass it down. That's what, like, that's how a lot of families have been divided because they lost the traditional teachings of the family. You see what I'm saying? If you come from something and you come from a solid family, that means it was passed down. We taught the kids to be solid. The uncles taught the boys to be solid. The women were solid. You know what I'm saying? And everybody didn't mind disciplining you.
Exactly.
Now, that wasn't being mean. Now that we look back, that was love because we was able to get a taste of our aunties, our uncles and cousins and everybody. We all was together. You feel me? So them old school teachers, that's what we missing right now because we don't even value the family ship up part of it. You know what I'm saying? We was taught to be amongst our family. Love your family. You know what I'm saying? And it's okay if your family check you. You know what I'm saying? Because that's out of love. You know?
We definitely got to get back to, stop allowing, and I say society a lot, but your decisions is what you make. But the influence of society with the family structure it's you don't see that anymore. Everything is separatism. Everything is, You know
why? Because just what Miss Mink was talking about. The old school teachers. It takes the OGs to put these little girls in line and tell them, no, we ain't finna sit. You ain't gonna talk about your cousin.
Exactly.
Some people would be, Dee wouldn't let us talk about nobody. She checking us instantly. And she gonna find out what's happening and make sure it all gets straightened out.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So it was certain people you couldn't talk about your cousins around because they gonna check you about it. Right. And they finna bring it up in front of them too. Like, oh, go get him so we can go and get this straightened out right now.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? Now we allowing our kids to carry on, and really that ain't even being solid because you're talking about somebody that you're gonna have to be around regardless.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So we have to.
And some of our kids don't even know their family.
You hear me?
Fact.
That's what's sad.
Fact.
It's sad. It's really sad though. It's sad. And we gotta get back to that because you got a lot of incest going on out here too. People ain't talking about that, but it's happening. You hear it, but they ain't really talking about it. But it's really happening. And that's because a lot of cousins don't even know each other.
Right.
And a lot of times
brothers and sisters don't even know know each other.
And not only that, people are really not asking questions because they don't know how to communicate.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They too busy like this.
That's because they've been sheltered. The phone, that's the thing, that the phone don't show you people's skills as far as being able to interact with people when they're in your presence. See, when people in your presence, you can feel the energy of that person. You can feel the mood swing, and you can feel the, the gestures. All that play a part of communicating, you know what I'm saying? Through a phone, somebody texting you, you really ain't seeing the frowns or the smiles that they putting with it unless they give you the smiley face.
Exactly.
Or they give you the frown, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Right, exactly.
So our kids are being dumbed down by, we thinking, so like when people ask, we're so advanced, we think, you know what I mean, because of the technology. But when you look at the way our children, as far as they're not using the instincts and the gifts that we are blessed with, you feel me, because of the technology. So really, is it making us smarter or is it making us dumb?
In my opinion, I feel like it's dumbing us down.
And you know why? Because they dumbed us down so they could use computers to take our positions. So we don't use the gifts that we have.
Exactly.
We are the computers. Because without us, it wouldn't be one.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But they don't even want us to think like that. They just want us to depend on the computer, even with the spelling. That's why they got it. That
spelling, man.
It helps you spell when you're dialing and texting. It going to spell for you right quick. But me, myself, I go and read that spelling again a couple times so I make sure I get it next time. So I still have to teach myself, like, okay, thank y'all. I'm glad y'all showed me the right way. But I pay attention. I read it a couple times. So, okay, that's how you spell it. Because it is.
That's why it is that I said AI must have helped that little 10-year-old girl that sent Brittany them little, that little message. Because that little message was an adult.
The way she was talking to my daughter, like no respect, none. Like you don't want these problems, you and your daughter.
No, that's what she said.
That's what the little girl told
She
my
said
daughter.
it.
You know, like, come on now.
She said,
first off, at 10 years old, what type of problems are you talking about?
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? What type of problems are you barking up
Problems her
on?
mama talking about?
That's my point.
Whoever
You
she
feel what
around
I'm
talking
saying?
about that.
But where's mama at? She's somewhere doing something, whatever she doing, and don't even know that you getting her in some funk, though.
Right, you raging war, your daughter raging war. Don't even know how bad it could get. And that's how a lot of problems come about nowadays, because parents want to jump in at the wrong time. Instead of whooping their little kids' ass for out there running their damn mouth to some adults. See, we was taught, don't get out. I don't care what I don't care what they said to you. Don't let me hear you disrespecting no
Your
adults.
adult, okay.
See, now these kids think
You
they can
better come and
disrespect
tell
them. No,
me.
you ain't gonna do. I'm on the old rules. You ain't finna disrespect
me.
I'm gonna give you respect, and you gonna respect this.
I'm trying to tell you. Or gone on.
yeah, I was
Yeah, or
at
get you
all.
some business.
I ain't
Gone
playing.
on.
Or I'm gonna check your parents.
Okay.
You gonna go get mom and them, and your mom and them gonna feel like you done got them in some mess.
Exactly.
Because now the fire gonna come towards them.
Exactly.
Because you got this little clown running around thinking it's okay to disrespect adults.
Because they're disrespecting their parents. So you know, if these kids disrespect their parents,
They ain't gonna disrespect.
baby,
They
they gonna look at you like, I wish you would say something to me. Like, you know, doing it all.
You know? And that little
Yeah,
just
'cause
always got somebody
I was
kid tapped.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, and that's why I thank God that I have grown and I see my growth and development, because I almost blinked at the little baby like she was a midget, and that mean I would have snatched her. Cause yeah, you talking real heavy. But I'm just saying, like, you know, back then, if they'd have caught me like that, yeah, I probably would have snatched that little baby. I'm talking about she was throwing heavy threats. I'm talking about heavy.
Yeah, them threats get you in trouble.
If you'd have been standing right there in front of me, little girl, I'd have blinked a little too hard. You'd look like a midget. So I'd have fought you, because I'd have figured you was grown.
Yeah, that mouth.
Yeah, because you
Grown
got
mouth.
one of them mouths.
That's why we have to teach our kids, watch the words that's coming out your mouth.
Man.
And you can't be you can't be disrespectful to adults. I
And
don't
I'ma
care
tell-
how grown you think you
are.
is.
You hear me? And I'm gonna be honest with you, parents. If you're not teaching your kids to respect you, at least teach them to respect the ones that's out.
They can't.
You
They
know,
can't.
I'm just saying. I'm just giving you a little word of advice, because they're gonna run across one adult that's gonna snatch them and take them right on home to mama.
They be wondering why somebody didn't fuck their baby up.
Exactly.
Because you done fucked your baby
Baby,
up by not teaching your baby. It's rules to this.
I'm telling you.
That's what everybody running around like it's not rules. It's rules to everything you do. It's a cause and effect.
It
So
is.
be careful. If you're not really with the effect that's gonna come with what you cause
your
upon
cause,
yourself,
yeah.
watch what you do. That's why I watch how I talk to people. I know it's a
Exactly.
cause and effect. I watch what I do to people because I know that it's a cause and effect. You know what I mean? And if we don't teach these kids that, they're gonna keep crashing out because they don't
Crashing
know that
out
what they
every
doing
time.
is gonna cause a major effect on what's gonna happen next.
It
You
is.
feel me?
And that's why I said what I said, you know, and I'm speaking for me. I thank God that I am who I am now, because yeah. And kids love me and I love kids. And that's why I say all the time, it's really not what people say to kids, it's how you approach them and what you saying. Because if a child is already getting beat down, and you coming at them in a wrong manner, they're not gonna respect
They gonna be
or
on
even
defense.
listen to what you saying. They already on defense. Like, who you talking to? You know? So we as parents have to teach our children how to handle situations. When you see something, if you don't want to tell it as far as being a snitch, because we was taught don't be snitches. Snitches get stitches. But what I am saying is
You go get stitches, all right.
I'm saying, write a note. Write a note. Y'all know how to do it. Send it anonymous through the phone, because baby, they got the game and go. But no, seriously though, this whole topic has been on bullying, been on, our children killing each other, going in these schools, shooting up. We need everybody's help, everybody's support. We have to be helpers one to another. And y'all know why not said, we just speak on things that we have experienced, things that we know, and we try to share it. Not that we know everything, but I know what I know, and we stand on it. We love y'all for y'all support. Like, subscribe, until next Friday.
Yes.
Thing to say.
We love you guys. Thank you so much for supporting us. We appreciate you all. And we hope that our topic has helped somebody on tonight.
Peace and love. Be
Friday,
safe.
why not say it is signing out, but we still in the building.
Dun, 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 dun. Till next Friday, same time. If you got a topic, holler at one of us. Get us. We'd love to talk to you. We'd love to get you on the show. We trying to help everybody, even ourselves. Thank you.
And she got permanent.
That's what y'all was listening to. That's how y'all was doing.
If I come into the club and you think I'm a
Okay,
yeah. But we can ride out to whatever you want to ride the wave to, baby. Now, can you do
Yeah. Because I'm about. Bodum found some white. I don't know where he found this standing at.
And who?
He white on this side of his face.
Who is?
Bo.
Oh, a dog. A dog. Oh, no. Jack, you still up there in that part of the boy. All in that dust.
For every road, there's always a destiny. For every move, you got to pay for keeps. Keeping my head down high towards the sky. Forever I will be the one and only. Thank God for me. Yo, in my barrel you had to be thorough. Couldn't come around her, no place for widows. Money on our mind, doing numbers, constantly adding zeros. People depending on me, fast lane, they ghetto hero. Cartier lenses, chinky eyes half closed. Billy Kimber